Manchester United has finally announced the transfer of Jadon Sancho. Finally, it is over. It's been a year and a few months of transfer speculation, of going back and forth, of submitting bids. Bids have been rejected, negotiating players' wages, but it is finally over the line. 1 year later, Manchester United have finally announced Jadon Sancho as a Man United player. And you know, I understand some fans, they're not even excited anymore because Man United have drained the excitement, have drained the hype out of this transfer. If you're watching this video and you haven't subscribed to the channel as yet, don't be afraid, don't be shy, don't be that type of guy. Hit that subscribe button and let's keep it moving. Transfers are supposed to be exciting times for fans and for clubs, but Manchester United have drained all that excitement out of the fans. So I can bear with you if you don't you've got no excitement of this transfer. I can bear witness to you because I understand what Man United have put us through. Even with regards to announcing the Jadon Sancho transfer. Jadon Sancho done medicals many days ago. Done his medicals, signed his contracts as a United player many days ago. And Man United have only today announced him as a Man United player. I don't understand the reasoning behind it. Maybe, guys, there's a good reason behind it. Maybe they want to generate that engagement on social media. Maybe they want to do that. Maybe they get something out of it. I don't know. But maybe they get something out of it. But from a fan's point of view, that drains all the excitement out of you. So I can understand if certain of you guys have no excitement over the transfer anymore. But, guys, we have signed one of the best young players in the world. He's one of the best young players. He's the most consistent young player. He performs. He's 21 years old, but he plays like he's a 28-year-old. He's got a 28-year-old's head on a 21-year-old's body. He makes the right decisions, that game in, game out. 90 minutes, making the right decisions. Very rarely will you see Jadon Sancho make a wrong decision. And guys, that's what even puts Jadon Sancho on the levels of a João Felix, on the levels of a Phil Foden. Because when it comes to talent, those two players are more talented than Jadon Sancho. João Felix is much more talented than Jadon Sancho, and Phil Foden is more talented than Jadon Sancho. But what puts Jadon Sancho on their level, and some people would even say even better than them, is his decision making. That's what separates him also from the other young players and the other players in world football, is his decision making. He makes the right decisions at the right time. Prime example of decision making is Marcus Rashford. Marcus Rashford makes the wrong decisions. Each and every game you will see Rashford making wrong decisions. Rashford did not have many minutes playing for England in the Euros, but when he did come off the bench and perform, he made wrong decisions. He got the ball and he was running into players, not trying to do a step over, not trying to drop the shoulder to shift the defender one side and him go the other side. No, he was running into players time in and time out, and that's what he does, and that's down to decision making. He just makes the wrong decision. Instead of lifting his head and seeing, you know what, is there something else that I can do besides running into a player? Can I maybe just square this ball off and give it to my teammates instead of me running into a player? No, he runs into a player. Then when he's playing for Man United, he does that, and he takes shots from distances he hasn't scored from before. He'll take a shot. And so that's decision making, and that's something that Jadon Sancho does not do. Jadon Sancho, if there's a better pass for him to make, he'll make that pass. If he needs to take the shot, he'll take that shot. And he is just a mature head that he plays with, maturity beyond his years, and we've signed one of the best young players in the world. Let me read you his statistics because, guys, as I'm saying, when you look at his performances with the eye test, fantastic. And then when you look at his statistics as well, I mean, in the 18-19 season, 14 goals, 16 assists. 1920 season, 19 goals, 16 assists. 2021 season, 16 goals, 15 assists. This is fantastic numbers, and these are numbers that tell you that Jadon Sancho is a complete footballer, whereas you'll have certain other players like a Rashford or even like a number 9 that will have more goals than assists because he's a number 9. But Jadon Sancho is a complete footballer that shows you that he can score and he can assist as well. So he's a playmaker and he's a goal scorer, and he's just a complete footballer, and that's what we are getting. These numbers, guys, show you consistency. Year in, year out, he is consistent. He is there. He's not dropping his level. It's not once. He's a one-season wonder where he comes onto the show for one season, banging in goals, giving assists, and the next season his performances have dropped. No, he is consistent. These numbers, these statistics show you that number one, he's an all-round footballer. He can score and he can give assists. And number two, it shows you his consistency. Every season, he's there. Every season he's there. The 2021 season that just finished a couple months ago, he started that season off poorly because on the back of him not moving to Man United. So he started the season off poorly. Also, he was overweight. He wasn't fit. So he started the season off poorly. But once he got running, he started picking up his game. He started picking up his numbers. It's consistency. And that's what you want from your players at the highest level. You want consistent players. You don't want a player that in 3 games, maybe just say, let's say out of 5 games, 2 of those games he's the best player in the world, and in 3 of the games he's nowhere to be seen. You don't want that. You want a player that when you put him out on that field for 90 minutes, you know what you're getting. And that's what Jadon Sancho gives you. You know exactly what you're going to get with Jadon Sancho. He's going to give you consistency. Each and every game, he's going to give you consistency. And what, from my point of view, I like looking at domestic league statistics. I like looking first, what did he do in his domestic league? The statistics that I just read out for you, that was all competitions. So that's Bundesliga, DFB Pokal Cup, and Champions League. But I primarily like to look at first, what did he do in his domestic league? Because domestic league shows consistency. You're not playing cup games every week. Champions League as well. Sometimes you don't play those Champions League games every week. There's a break in Champions League. So domestically, you playing that every week, and that shows me consistency. So let me read you out what he done in the Bundesliga. Only Bundesliga. 2017-2018, okay, that's when he first came to Dortmund. He only played 12 games, 1 goal, 4 assists. That's when he first came to Dortmund. He was a teenager at that time. He was probably about 17, 18. 2018-2019 season, 34 matches he played. 12 goals, 14 assists. That's good. That is very, very good. 2019-2020 season, that was his best season. 32 games, 17 goals, 16 assists. 2020-21 season, 26 games. Remember I told you earlier that he did not play some of the games earlier on in the season because he was sad with his move breaking down from Man United. He was unfit, he was fat and so forth. So he only played 26 games, 8 goals, 11 assists. Guys, these are fantastic numbers. These are fantastic numbers. But let me bring you back down to earth. Lower your expectation. These statistics that I just read out for you, this is what he done in the Bundesliga playing for Borussia Dortmund. Borussia Dortmund are well known for getting the very best out of their players and even getting things that are not in their players, getting that out. They are well known for that. Borussia Dortmund got the best system when it comes to getting the best out of players. They've got the best system in world football, getting the best out of every player. Borussia Dortmund can bring in whoever they want, and that player will do well because of their system. But the minute you take those players out of Borussia Dortmund, you see different players. Case in point, we've done business with Dortmund before. We've signed Shinji Kagawa. We signed Shinji Kagawa on the back of Shinji Kagawa being Dortmund's best playmaker and one of their best players. We signed him. Under Sir Alex Ferguson, we made this signature. He came to us, Man United, playing under Sir Alex Ferguson, and he flopped. He flopped. He could not reproduce what he was doing at Dortmund. As a result of that, 2 seasons later, we offloaded him. 1.5 seasons later, we offloaded him. Then we went for Mkhitaryan under Jose Mourinho. Mkhitaryan was the best playmaker in that season that we've signed him on, the season that we signed him off. He was the best playmaker in Europe. He had the most assists in Europe in Dortmund for the season that we signed him off. He came to Man United. Everybody thought that he was going to be this world-class playmaker because that's what he showed at Dortmund. As I said, most assists in Europe, best playmaker in Europe. We thought this is the guy that we are signing. He came to Man United. The guy could not even complete a through ball. Could not even complete a through ball. As a result of that, he stayed by us for 1 season. At the end of 1 season, 1.5 seasons, we sold him to Arsenal and we got Alexis Sanchez. But those are examples, and I can give you many other examples of other teams as well that have done business with Dortmund, and the players that they signed from Dortmund, and when those players put those shirts on for their club, 2 different players. Ousmane Dembele that Barcelona signed. Barcelona signed that boy for about 130 million, 120 million around there. That boy's flopped, and he's still flopping at Barcelona. Mario Götze that Bayern Munich signed, flopped at Bayern Munich. They ended up selling him back to Dortmund. There's many players like that Dortmund have, that they get the very best out of those players, and they make those players perform at levels that they are not even on. They sell those players for good money, and those players cannot reproduce what they've done at Dortmund because Dortmund have a world-class system, and maybe some of these other teams do not have that. So this is what I'm telling you guys: lower your expectation with Jadon Sancho. Jadon Sancho's coming from Dortmund. I've given you examples of Dortmund having these players that perform at a world-class level, and when they come to your club, they're a shadow of that player. I'm not saying Jadon Sancho is going to be a shadow of the player he was at Dortmund. All I'm telling you, lower your expectation. Lower your expectation. These statistics that I read for you, 17 goals, 16 assists in 1 season, guys, the likeliness of him doing that at Man United this first season is extremely low. Extremely low. I think he may even half those numbers. So instead of giving us 17 goals, maybe he'll only give us 8 goals. Things like that. Instead of giving us 16 assists, he'll only give us 8 assists. Things like that. So I'm just saying lower your expectation because, as I've said, number one, Borussia Dortmund got a world-class system, one of the best systems in world football. Number one. Number two, the Bundesliga is a much easier league than the Premier League. The Bundesliga is a slow league, whereas the Premier League is a fast-paced league. The Bundesliga, the teams are easier to face than the Premier League teams. The Premier League is much more tactical than the Bundesliga. The Premier League, even the 20th place team, they study the way you play and they study individual players and they know how to negate those individual players and how to negate your style of play or your system. So these are the 2 factors that you have to consider. And also, guys, moreover, he's coming to Manchester United, a team synonymous for making players worse. Man United are synonymous with making players worse. So when I'm telling you to lower your expectation of Jadon Sancho, it's not because of his ability. No, his ability is there. This boy is extremely good. He's a world-class talent. His ability is there. I'm saying lower your expectation because of Man United, because of the club we are. We don't have a system. We don't have a style of play. It's freestyle football. It's you get the ball and whatever happens around you. We don't have those tactics where if Jadon Sancho gets the ball, is Wan-Bissaka overlapping or is he underlapping? We don't know all these things. We don't teach how to have combination plays and how to play in triangles. We don't make triangles on the pitch, so we don't have a style of play. He's coming into a team that has no system, has no style of play. You have to figure out what you're doing at that time, you know. So he's coming into a team like that. He's coming to a team, as I said, that is synonymous with making players worse. We've done it with most of our signings. 90% of our signings, we've made them worse. You look at from the very beginning, even look at Paul Pogba. Paul Pogba that plays for Man United and Paul Pogba that plays for France is 2 different Paul Pogbas. We don't get the best out of Paul Pogba. Harry Maguire, Harry Maguire that plays for Man United and that plays for England is two different Harry Maguires. We don't get the best of Harry Maguire. And I can go on and I can go on. Victor Lindelof that plays for Sweden is not the Victor Lindelof that we see for United. All these players, when they play for their country, they perform better than what they perform at Man United. Even the players that we have sold, Romelu Lukaku, he goes at Man United, struggling here and there. He goes to Inter Milan and wins a domestic league. There's so many players. And Herrera, struggling here and there by Man United, goes to PSG, goes to a Champions League final. These are players, guys, that I said, 90% of the players at Man United, we don't get the best out of. We make them worse than what they really are. We don't make them reproduce the form that we signed them off on. We don't make them reproduce that form. Those are the players. Even Bruno Fernandes, guys. Bruno, when he first came to Man United, was hot. Was hot. Assisting, scoring, having man of the match performances. Last season, he started the season off good. But once it hit December, Bruno Fernandes died out. And so the second half of the season, he was average. We don't get the very best out of our players. We don't. So that's why I'm saying lower your expectation when it comes to Jadon Sancho, guys. Don't expect Sancho to do what he done at Dortmund to do it at Man United. Understand it's different leagues. Understand it's different clubs. Understand that there's pressure now on him. A price tag, a 73 million price tag. Understand all these variables. And also understand he's coming into a club that just doesn't have a style of play that leaves players out there to drown with little coaching on the players. So understand all these variable, guys, and just lower your expectations on Jadon Sancho. Lower your expectations on Jadon Sancho. Jadon Sancho is a versatile player, so you will see him playing on the right wing and he can also play on the left wing. Now we know Rashford is going to be out for 2 months at the beginning of the season, so there may be an urge or prompting from Oli to play Jadon Sancho on the left wing, because I think that's his best position. But he can play on the right wing as well, and he plays there fantastically well. It's just that on the left wing, that's where he gives you his goals. On the right wing is where he gives you his assists. So there will be a prompting from Oli to play Jadon Sancho on the left because Marcus Rashford is out. But it's down to Oli where he wants to play Sancho. He can continue playing Sancho on the right and maybe play Martial on the left, or maybe you want to try something and play Greenwood on the left. I don't know, but Jadon Sancho gives you that versatility, that flexibility, where you can play him on the left wing and on the right wing, and he's the same player. He's the same player. He'll give you the same, more or less, output. So that's the versatility that you want, guys. When you have players that are versatile, you can switch from formation to formation because they can play in multiple positions. So they can play in multiple formations. That's what you want. You don't want players that can only play in one position. You don't want that. You don't want that, because then you have to more or less build your team around those players and you can only play in a certain formation. You don't want that. You want to play that's versatile. That's what Jadon Sancho gives you. One thing I know, guys, is that Jadon Sancho will play more or less every game. No matter, even if he's not on form, Oli will not drop him, because you cannot drop a 73 million player. The minute you're dropping players that you've signed for a big fee and you are dropping points as well, that's when the board and the CEO and the directors start looking at you. Because these people that's sitting on the board, they might not necessarily understand football, but they understand financials. They understand that they paid 73 million for that boy, and you are not playing that boy, and also you are losing and drawing games. So Oli will not put that pressure on himself. That is pressure. Same like Frank Lampard. Frank Lampard signed Kai Havertz. He was benching Kai Havertz and losing games. As a result of that, those two things, he lost his job. You cannot do that, because that tells the board that, you know what, we've given you a team, you can't get the best out of the team, and we've given you money and you're wasting the money. Unfortunately, you have to go. So Oli will not do that. Oli will play Jadon Sancho. Even if he's playing off form, he will continue playing him in the hope that he can recover his form. But I don't expect Jadon Sancho to have a bad season. I'm just lowering my expectations and just saying to myself, you know what, he might only give us half of those numbers, half of those goals, half of those assists that he was doing at Borussia Dortmund. That's where my focus and my expectations are on, and I advise you to have the same. Exciting signing, guys, exciting. He's a flair player. He's a flair player. People say he's a street baller. He himself says he's a street baller because you even see he loves to give a nutmeg here and there. He loves to do skills. So exciting players. As a fan, you want to see those players. You don't want to see those stiff players. You don't want to. No one comes to a stadium wanting to watch Scott McTominay play. No one wants to watch that. People want to come to a stadium and want to see Jadon Sancho, want to see Paul Pogba. These guys that do skills, these guys that can give you a quick nutmeg as you're running, slip it in between your legs as you're running, stop there. Where you going? You come to the stadium to watch these players. So we've got another one like that, and it's exciting. There's rumors of signing Varane. Apparently Man United are going to submit a bid very soon for Varane. That's exciting. So if we get Varane, we've got Sancho. For me, that's a squad that can win anything that we want to win. So guys, that's my review of the signing of Jadon Sancho. I'm not sure whether he will wear the number 7 jersey as yet. Maybe they'll keep Cavani with it, and Cavani's leaving at the end of the season and just keep Jadon Sancho. I'm not sure. I don't care. But as long as Jadon Sancho at the end of next season ends up with the number 7 jersey, that's the only thing that matters. But we've got a number 7, guys. As I've said, he's 21 years of age. So he's going to give us 10 years of service, and that's what you want. You want players that you know they are going to give you these 10 years, 8 years, 7 years of service, and their best years they're going to spend it at your club. That's what you want. So fantastic signing. Even when you look at the fee that we've paid for him, guys, and that's how you charge a transfer. You charge a transfer based on the fee that you paid and based on the player's ability. These two things need to speak to one another. In Jadon Sancho's case, that's a fantastic price that we paid for him, 73 million, where last season we were quoted 108 million. We saved 30-something million from the Jadon Sancho transfer. Fantastic, fantastic transfer from Manchester United's point of view. Wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. And guys, I can't wait to see him playing on that left wing, on that right wing. I can't wait. That's my review of Jadon Sancho, guys. If you haven't subscribed to this channel, hit that subscribe button, smash the like button, and I'll see you all soon, hopefully, for the transfer of Varane. Peace.